Somebody needs to hear me today. You've been living in a prison you didn't even build. You've been held hostage by fear, by doubt, by the what-ifs of life. But I'm here to tell you right here, right now, that it's time to break free. Oh yes, I said it, break free today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Because the moment you step out of fear, that's the moment you step into your breakthrough. And your breakthrough, your destiny, your purpose, it's waiting for you on the other side of that fear. Are you ready to rise? Are you ready to move? Then let's step into our breakthrough together. Breakthrough is not just a word we throw around lightly. It is a declaration of change, a shift in the atmosphere, a turning point in your story. When we talk about breakthrough, we are not talking about something small, something ordinary, something you can schedule into your day like a meeting or an appointment. No. Breakthrough is when the impossible becomes possible, when what was locked up suddenly opens, when what was stuck begins to move, when what was heavy gets lifted. Breakthrough is the moment heaven intersects with your life and things can never be the same again. You see, so many of us live our lives pressed down by fear, by limitations, by the voices that say, you can't, you won't, you'll never. But breakthrough silences those voices and declares, yes, you can, yes, you will, yes, you already are. A breakthrough is personal. It may not look the same for you as it does for me, but the impact is always undeniable. For one person, breakthrough may be finding the courage to finally walk away from a toxic relationship. For another, it might be taking the first step towards starting that business, writing that book, or launching that dream. For someone else, it may be simply daring to believe again after years of disappointment. Whatever it looks like, breakthrough comes to shatter the walls that have kept you bound. It comes to remind you that your story is not finished, that your struggle is not the end, and that there is more for you on the other side of your fear. But here's the truth. Breakthrough doesn't come to those who sit still and wait for it. Breakthrough comes to those who rise up, who make a move, who refuse to be defined by yesterday's pain. You've got to be willing to step out, even if you're trembling. You've got to be willing to say, I may not have it all figured out, but I refuse to stay stuck where I am. That's when breakthrough shows up. When your faith collides with your courage. When your persistence outweighs your doubt. Breakthrough is calling your name today. It's saying, don't give up here. Don't stop in the middle. Don't let fear dictate your future. It's time to break free. It's time to step forward. And it's time to claim the breakthrough that was meant for you all along. Destiny is not an accident, and it is not a coincidence. Destiny is the reason you were born, the assignment that was placed on your life before you even took your first breath. You didn't show up on this earth by mistake. You didn't stumble into existence. There is a design over your life, a plan that reaches further than your past mistakes, further than your failures, further than the voices that told you you weren't enough. Destiny is bigger than your pain, bigger than your fear, bigger than the obstacles that have tried to stop you. And the beautiful thing about destiny is that nothing and no one can cancel what has been set in motion for your life. People may walk away, doors may close, seasons may shift, but destiny has a way of finding you right where you are and pushing you toward the place you were always meant to be. So many people confuse destiny with desire. Desire is what you want, destiny is what you were made for. Desire can change, but destiny is fixed. You can run from it, you can resist it, you can delay it, but you cannot destroy it. When you are walking in your destiny, even the storms that come against you end up working in your favor. Even the setbacks become setups. Even the detours eventually lead you back to the main road, because destiny does not waste anything. Every tear you cried, every battle you fought, every rejection you endured, it all becomes part of the fuel that drives you closer to where you belong. The challenge is that fear often tries to stand between you and your destiny. Fear whispers that you're not qualified, that you're not worthy, that you don't have what it takes. But destiny answers back with a louder voice, saying, "You were chosen for this. You were created for this. You were built for this." When you align yourself with that truth, you stop letting fear dictate your decisions and start stepping into the fullness of who you were meant to be. Destiny is not waiting for tomorrow. It's calling you today. It's not asking for perfection. It's asking for surrender, courage, and faith. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to take the next step. Because every step you take toward your purpose is a step away from the lies of fear. And every step into your destiny is a step into your breakthrough. Fear is one of the greatest thieves of destiny, and it doesn't always come roaring like a lion. Sometimes it whispers quietly, planting doubt in the corners of your mind. Fear tells you that you're not enough, that you don't have the right background, the right resources, or the right connections. It tells you that failure is inevitable, so why even try? It disguises itself as caution, as wisdom, even as humility. But in truth, fear is a chain. It is a prison that keeps you from walking through doors that have already been opened for you. Fear convinces you to stay in comfort zones that are slowly suffocating your growth. It tricks you into believing that safety is the same as peace, when in reality, peace is not found in staying still, but in moving forward with courage. The power of fear is not in what it is, but in what it stops you from becoming. Fear doesn't have to be real to control you. It just has to be believed. Many of us have lived years under the weight of imagined disasters, things that never even happened, but still held us hostage. We replay the worst-case scenarios in our minds until we are too paralyzed to make a move. And while we stand still, time moves on. Opportunities pass us by, and the life we were meant to live slips further out of reach. That's why fear must be confronted. You cannot negotiate with it. You cannot ignore it. You must face it head on, because the moment you expose fear for what it really is, a liar, it begins to lose its grip on you. Fear is loud, but faith is louder. The only way to break free from fear is to replace it with action. You don't wait until you feel fearless to move. You move even while your knees are shaking. You step forward even when your voice trembles. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that fear will not control your next step. Every time you push past fear, you weaken it. Every time you take a step in spite of it, you grow stronger. Fear may try to stand in the doorway of your breakthrough, but it cannot lock the door. The key has always been in your hand. The question is whether you will allow fear to talk you out of using it. Today is the day to break the chain. Silence that voice and step boldly into the freedom that was waiting for you all along. Release is the act of letting go of what no longer serves you, what no longer defines you, and what no longer belongs to your future. Too many people are carrying yesterday into today and wondering why they feel so heavy. They are holding on to old hurts, old failures, old disappointments, and expecting to move forward with speed. But you cannot run into tomorrow while dragging the weight of yesterday behind you. Release is not weakness. Release is strength. It takes courage to unclench your fist, to stop trying to control what has already passed, and to trust that letting go will make space for something greater. Release is freedom in action. When you release bitterness, you make room for joy. When you release regret, you open yourself to possibility. When you release the fear of failure, you gain the boldness to try again. Sometimes we think holding on gives us power, but the truth is, it only drains us. Release is where power is restored. You were not meant to be bound to the same cycles year after year, repeating the same mistakes, replaying the same pain. You were created to evolve, to grow, to rise. And growth always requires a release. It's not just about releasing what was done to you. It's also about releasing what you said about yourself, the lies you believed, the labels you accepted. You've got to release the version of you that fear created so the version of you that destiny designed can finally emerge. Release is not forgetting. It's choosing not to live under the shadow of what happened. Release is not ignoring the wound. It's allowing healing to take its place. And when you release, you discover that you were never truly stuck. The weight you carried just made you feel that way. There comes a moment in every breakthrough where you must decide, do I cling to what's familiar, or do I release it so I can walk into what's promised? That's the crossroads of change. You can't have both. You can't step into your new season while still clutching the baggage of your old one. Release is the doorway, and once you walk through it, you will look back and realize you didn't lose anything. You gained clarity, peace, and strength for the journey ahead. Rise is the call to action, the heartbeat of transformation, the moment when you refuse to stay down any longer. Life will knock you over, push you back, and test your resolve, but rising is the choice to stand anyway. It is the declaration that you will not be defined by your failures, your fears, or your circumstances. Rising is not optional if you want to live fully. It is essential. Every breakthrough, every victory, every dream that was ever fulfilled began with someone deciding to rise, even when the odds seemed impossible, even when hope felt distant, even when the world said no. To rise is to reclaim your power. It is to shake off the chains of doubt and limitation, and to stand tall in the face of adversity. Rising requires courage, because the world often benefits from keeping people down, from convincing them they are not enough. But rising is a rebellion against that lie. Every time you rise, you push back the darkness, you step into the light, and you take one more step toward the life that is waiting for you. Rising is not just physical, it is spiritual, emotional, and mental. It is the alignment of your faith, your vision, and your action in a way that propels you forward. Rise is also contagious. When you rise, you inspire others to rise. Your courage gives others the courage to believe that they too can overcome. You become a living testimony that no matter how deep the valley, how long the night, how heavy the storm, it is always possible to get up, move forward, and claim what is yours. Your rise is a beacon, a signal that limitations are temporary, fear is conquerable, and destiny cannot be denied. Rising does not mean the struggle disappears, but it does mean you refuse to let the struggle stop you. It means you take your pain, your disappointment, your fear, and you turn it into fuel for your climb. Every setback becomes a setup. Every fall becomes a lesson. Every tear becomes a step toward triumph. Rising is an act of faith. It is a decision that your tomorrow is bigger than your yesterday, that your dreams are stronger than your doubts, that your spirit is more powerful than any obstacle. So rise. Rise today. Rise with purpose. Rise with faith. Rise with the confidence that your breakthrough is not just coming. It is already on its way. Rise, because the world needs to see that nothing, and I mean nothing, can keep a determined soul from stepping into the fullness of its destiny. So today, I am asking you to make a decision to step out of the chains that have held you back, a decision to stop letting fear write your story and start letting breakthrough define your path. You were created for more than surviving. You were created for thriving. You were created for a destiny that cannot be denied, for a purpose that cannot be postponed, for a life that cannot be lived in the shadows. I know fear has whispered lies in your ear, telling you that you're not enough, that you're too late, that you've already missed your chance. But let me tell you something. Fear is a liar. Fear does not have the final word. Fear cannot stand against the power that lives inside you. When you release the weight of the past, when you let go of the hurt, the doubt, and the regret, you make space for God's favor, for your breakthrough, for the destiny that has always been waiting for you. Release it and watch what happens. And then rise. Rise with courage. Rise with faith. Rise knowing that every step you take toward your purpose is a step into victory. Rise because the world needs to see what a determined, faith-filled soul looks like. Rise because your breakthrough is not just about you. It is about inspiring others to believe, to hope, to fight, and to live fully. Rise because the life you've dreamed of, the life you've prayed for, the life that was promised to you, is waiting on the other side of fear. This is your moment. This is your time. Step out today. Break free today. Release the past. Rise into your destiny. Your breakthrough is calling. Your destiny is waiting. And the world is ready to witness the fullness of who you are meant to be. So I ask you again, will you rise? Will you break free? Will you step into the life you were born to live? The choice is yours, but the time is now. Today is the day. Today is the moment. Step out of fear and into your breakthrough.